Hi guys, so today I wanted to do a duct tape video. I wanted to do two things in this video. One, we're going to do basic ruffles, which are these here, and it's just a pleated piece of duct tape. And then I'm also going to use that same technique to show you how to make these ruffled flowers. So that's what they look like. And this is just an example of how you could use them. You could use them to decorate bags, or if you make wallets or something along those lines. This is a picture frame. So this piece here slides in and out, and then that's what it looks like from the back. Now eventually I will show you how to make the entire project, but I want to break it up into parts so that the video is not too long. So things that you might need for this are things that I recommend you have. One is a cutting board. It makes it a lot easier to cut and work with. You don't absolutely have to have it, but it is nice. An X-Acto knife. This is my set. You can use whichever kind you have. Pair of scissors. Just a nice pair of sharp scissors will do the trick. And then my last recommendation would be to have a ruler. That just makes it easier to cut straight lines. So for this video, I'm going to assume that you already know how to lay down your duct tape and that you already know how to cut it and that you can take your own measurements. So as you can see, I've already started here. And I have some lengths of duct tape here. So the first thing I want to show you is how to make the basic ruffle. So the piece I'm working with here is about 11 inches. So you're going to want to make your piece of duct tape about double the length you want to cover. So if I was going to be using this as the piece I want to cover, this piece here is 6 inches from side to side. So I would cut 12 inches for the actual pleating, and that's just a rough guidelines. It might vary for you depending on how tightly you do the pleats. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your piece of duct tape, and the first thing you want to do is you want to fold it. So roughly I want to leave about 1/3 exposed, and I like to just take one side, and I'm trying to keep it even. And I'm just going to run that all the way down the entire length there. Okay, so once you have that, that's what it looks like from one side and the other. So you're going to go ahead and stick down your duct tape. And this is why I like to use my board, because it gives me a guideline so that I can make each pleat the same length. So I'll show you once and then I'll scoot you guys in so you can see better. On my board, there's marks on it that show 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. So right at the inch line, I'm going to put my finger down and I'm going to fold this so that the pleat's right at 1/4 inch. So right here for mine, it's this little dot right here. And then that's where I'm going to stick that down. So one more time, I'm going to put my finger right at the inch. And I'm going to fold the pleat 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys in closer. So here on my cutting board, you can see my different marks. So there's the pleat we just did. So I'm going to move forward. I'm going to put my finger right here at the inch mark, and I'm going to fold my duct tape back at the 1/4 inch. So here's 1/4. Or you can do a little bit bigger if you want. It's up to you. You can go all the way to 1/2 inch. It just depends on the size pleats you want to make. So I'm going to show you again, but this time I'm going to show you with the 1/2 so that you can see the difference. So here's my last pleat. I'm going to move forward to where I have the inch mark, and then I'm going to fold this back to 1/2 inch, so right here. And while I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep it very straight. Okay, so right there, my last pleat, and again I'm going to do that one more time at the 1/2 inch. And then there's just a little bit excess, which I'm going to snip that off. So once you have it to this point, and you have your pleated piece, so here's all the different little pleats. What I like to do is I like to take a piece of duct tape the same color as the duct tape I'm working with, and I just cut it in half So that's half. And I'm just going to run it. I'm going to set it down, and what I'm covering is only about ½ inch at the top here. And I'm going to just run that down the entire length. And by running that down, what that does is that holds down these pleats to give you an even surface to work with. Now at the end here where I have a little bit of excess, I'm just going to come in and snip that. And now this is ready to be attached to whatever you're working on. So if I were to put that on here, I would just stick it down, you know, where you want it. And obviously your lines would be cleaner and you would trim this up to how you want it. So if I wanted to trim up this length here, what I would do is just set that down on my table or on my cutting board. Use my X-Acto knife. And that gives you a nice clean line to work with. And then you would just attach that to whatever you're working on. Now to do your flower, you're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the ruffle itself. You're just going to take that and you're going to fold it to where 1/3 of the duct tape is left exposed. I'm using about a 9-inch piece of duct tape. And yours may vary on the size that you need depending on how tight you do your pleating. So you're just going to go ahead and place that on the board. And again, I'm going to take my finger and kind of use that as a guide, and I'm folding it on itself so that it starts to form a circle. And you can see by doing it, it's starting to get kind of a circle. And once I get to the end, what I like to do is just kind of fold that in on itself to give it a nice shape. And then all you're going to do is place a circle in the center of duct tape. So once you have the basic outline of the flower done, all that's left to do is to put a circle of duct tape in the center to kind of hold it together. You can use whichever one you want. What I did was just use a pill bottle. I put down the pill bottle and then traced around that to make the circle. But you can do it whichever way you want. And then because we left that sticky piece here, we can stick that directly onto whatever you're working on. So if you wanted to add that somewhere, you just stick that right on there. So if you want to make a smaller flower, all you need to do is take down some of the length of the duct tape. So just go ahead and cut your piece of duct tape, and you're just going to take down some of the width of it. Again, you're going to flip that over, and just like before, you're going to fold that so that 1/3 of the duct tape is showing. And you're going to start it just like before, right on your board. And you're just going to start your pleats, making sure that you connect in the center to get that circle. Let me zoom you guys in. So now I have some excess. I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that. And I'm going to fold that in a little bit. And again, I'm just going to take a piece of duct tape that I cut out, put that right on the center, and there's your flower completed. And again, you can just pick that right up and stick it wherever you like. So I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. It feels like it's been a really long time since I've done a duct tape video, so I hope you enjoy it. And as always, thank you guys for watching.